everybody, it's me Leo, and welcome back to another Stardew Valley Legacy speed build. So to wrap up this week's series of builds, we are working on the very controversial Joja Mart. So I know that a lot of you guys who are watching this are probably familiar with Stardew Valley already, but for those of you guys who are new, I feel like it's really important to introduce to you guys what Joja Mart is and what it represents. But before that, I feel like it's really important to start from the very beginning and kind of like talk to you guys a little bit on the background and on the basic story of Stardew Valley. Now, Stardew Valley as a game is very open-ended. You have a lot of leeway to make your own choices and to customize your gameplay the way you want to play it, but there is an overarching narrative that affects everything and everyone. And that narrative basically involves Joja as one of the parties, and the other is essentially the community of Stardew Valley. And basically, you know, you have to be confronted with some difficult decisions at some points in the game, and if you're not observant enough, you might actually accidentally make the wrong decision. But you know, the game does a really good job of presenting both sides in equal light, so it doesn't really you know, present, you know, like a set good and evil side to things, even though I think that the good guys are pretty, you know, like I think it's pretty obvious which side is on the side of good and which side is on the side of evil. And I'm pretty sure for those of you guys who are not familiar with Stardew Valley have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'll start from the very beginning. Basically, when you first move into Stardew Valley, the reason why you move to Stardew Valley and escape life in the big city is to pretty much escape this job that you have for this company called Joja. Now, Joja is the company that owns Joja Mart, and this is basically this corporate, you know, company that only cares about money. They have no sympathy whatsoever for their workers, and you know, you work for them initially, and then basically you get fed up. You get tired of, you know, working this mundane life where everything is so routine, and you just, you know, you decide to leave and go to the countryside to you know, start a new life there. Well, surprise, you realize very quickly that Joja is significantly more insidious than what you initially thought, because the town you decide to move into just opened a Joja Mart. So Joja Mart is, you know, it's this department store that is in direct competition with the local businesses in town. And one of the things that Joja is threatening is the destruction of the community center in Stardew Valley, because for a while now the local community center has been left abandoned, and when Joja moved in, they want to basically demolish the community center and turn it into a warehouse. So you have two options basically. You either have to help rebuild the community center, or ally with Joja and support Joja and essentially condemn the community center to its utter abandonment and destruction. So I mean, once again, the game really does a good job of presenting both sides on equal light, but I think it's pretty obvious which side is preferable for the community, you know, like for the good of the community of Stardew Valley. But yeah, basically you get a choice to give money to Joja, and if you do, it's a lot of money, by the way. It's a really significant amount, but if you do that, they will actually demolish, well, they won't demolish the community center, they will convert it into a warehouse, which is really sad, obviously. But if you choose to help rebuild the community center, it's a little bit more challenging, but I think that it's also very rewarding in a sense that it feels very enriching, I guess, because basically either regardless of whether you choose to help the community center or help Joja, you will still reach endgame, you know. Just because you help Joja doesn't mean you're evil and it's game over. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, you can still finish the game, but you know, there are specific ramifications that are directly consequences of your choices. So choose wisely on who to support. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good, like, I really love that aspect. You know, you have so much choice and you have, you know, like your own like abilities to you know, like just have control of your own destiny, basically, and I really love that. But yeah, I feel like I haven't really done justice to the whole social aspect and stuff like that, but I think that, you know, that should be a pretty good indication. Oh, I also have to say that Joja Mart is putting some of the local businesses in you know, out of business, like Pierre's General Store, because if you actually talk to some of the locals, they will let you know that they do prefer to shop at Joja because, you know, the stuff that they sell is significantly cheaper. But on the other hand, you know, having cheap stuff is good, but if it comes at a cost of, you know, destroying, you know, small local businesses, I will question it, definitely. And that's my opinion on a personal note. Even though I don't undermine the, like, the, you know, the practical aspects of having you know, all of this access to affordable needs, affordable goods, basically. I don't even know why this is like suddenly really preachy, but anyway, let me tell you guys about the build, okay? Because enough storytelling. I feel like we'll have a lot of that in the mini series, or like in the Let's Play challenge series, whatever. So for the build, I gotta say, I was actually really happy with it. I was actually really surprised at how well everything came together. I do have to say though that it actually turned out smaller than I was expecting, because I was looking at the proportions on the outside, and basically well, I always talk about this in all my videos, but it's really hard to actually combine the interior and the exterior for the Sims 4 versions of the stuff, or of the locations in Stardew Valley, simply because in Stardew Valley the locations, they don't really correspond. Either the interior and the exterior, they weren't really designed to match. But obviously in this case and in this context, they have to match because, you know, The Sims 4 is 3D, Stardew Valley is 2D retro style, so, you know, we have to keep that in mind. And basically my point is that the whole interior is a lot narrower than how it looks in the actual game of Stardew Valley, which wasn't really that big of a deal to me because basically the only thing that changed is these shelving units in the middle of the store. They are supposed to be significantly longer than how you guys are seeing them right now, but I don't really think that that's such a big deal. So yeah, they were shortened a little bit, but I think overall it still looks like Joja, and yeah, I'm really happy with how everything came together. Even though I'm supposed to hate Joja, I mean, just based on my personal beliefs and principles, I really don't believe in that. I prefer supporting local businesses, and I'm very open about that actually in many of my videos. But I have to say, just for this build in general, I think that it's actually really nice. I think that it's actually probably one of my favorite builds, to be completely honest. I just really love grocery stores, and let me just say that a lot of the ideas for this build are actually inspired by a really good friend of mine. I think I've mentioned this in my other grocery builds for the series that was on the Pierre's General Store, but a lot of the ideas I have for this were actually inspired by my good friend Irrelevant Sims. I think a while back she made a grocery store, and I feel like that was my favorite grocery store that I've ever seen. So I always reference that every time I build like these kinds of stores. But yeah, pretty much for the interior, you guys can see that I am now placing these you know, fruits and veggie stands. And basically, you guys, what I'm doing right now is that I'm placing these on surfaces so that all of the fruits and vegetables, they're on the same level, because it is such a pet peeve of mine to see you know, things, if you like raise them up with a 9 key, they don't really have the same height. I noticed that sometimes, and that like some things like just really explicitly floating in thin air, and I'm just like, what is like, yeah. So that's why I'm putting them on these like surfaces, because if I do that, I get to make sure that everything is on the same level, which is, you know, obviously a result of my OCD. But yeah, I was really happy. Like, actually, I love looking at these like fruit and vegetable stands. I really do. And yeah, you guys can just see me placing all the different fruits using by debug. I also downloaded like a room from the gallery that had all of the fruits and vegetables, because sometimes when I actually search on the by debug, some of the things just don't show up. So yeah, also I have to cut out a lot of the parts where I put the different fruits and vegetables, because that was just way too long. Like, that just took way too much time, so I had to edit those out. And here you guys can see me now actually filling up all of these shelves with all, you know, stuff for sale. And I tried my best to make these look like you know, fully stocked shelves. I know I could have used other items, but I was like, you know what, I don't really think that there's other items that would look like they are for sale. I don't know, I really like how everything looks. I just place these like what do you call these like, I think these are peppers that are inside these little jars. But just to have a little bit more variety, I had like I placed them on like different shelves on different colors. I placed different colors of them on different shelving rows. I don't even know. But yeah, you guys can see that they're color coded just to make them, you know, look distinguishable, I guess. I mean, you guys got what I was trying to go for. Like, I didn't want to like choose individual stuff, because that would just be like too much work, and you guys know how lazy I am. Also, I don't know if somebody's gonna point this out. I'm pretty sure somebody's like gonna point this out now that I am pointing this out, but those bags underneath the shelves, they're pet food, and I'm not sure how sanitary they are to put so close to like other grocery stuff, but you know what, nobody really cares. The important thing for me at the end of the day is just to make sure that the shelves look like they're fully stocked. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to talk about this, but there is actually a character that's going to be living here. His name is Morris, and I believe he is the representative of Joja to Pelican Town or to Stardew Valley. Either way, it's the same thing. But I wanted to incorporate his apartment differently from all of the other builds I've done before, so I actually put his apartment on the roof. Maybe you can imagine it as a penthouse, or like an evil lair. I love how I'm like explicitly labeling Joja as evil, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I made a little space for Morris upstairs, which I thought was a really interesting way to incorporate his apartment or his living area. So yeah, he's gonna have to maneuver these stairs every time he wants to go downstairs. That, just between you and me, that's my way of punishing Morris for being such a terrible human. But yeah, basically, Morris, he is a character in Stardew Valley. I don't think you can befriend him. I think his only role, his sole purpose of being in the game is to be there in case your character decides to actually support Joja and to take money from you, basically. That's all his purpose. That's like actually his role. So yep. And then for his apartments, I just kept it really simple and actually really modern, which is not something that we tend to see in Stardew Valley. Everything is typically more traditional, more country. But you know, I think that all of this modern stuff, I think it really represents Joja and the nature of their company. So I chose like more modern furniture, and of course I gave him everything that he would need to you know, to have a comfortable life. And some might argue that everything I gave him would be a little bit more on the luxurious side, but it's fine. I think it's appropriate for this particular situation. But yeah, I don't think you can befriend Morris actually. So that's that. And I want to share with you guys like some interesting endgame little stories and little events, but I'd rather not, because I don't really want to spoil it to some of you guys who would want to play it for yourselves. But Morris and Pierre, they have this relationship and it's really interesting, I have to say. So yeah, and let's see here, what else? Yeah, pretty much just furnishing in this bathroom area. I'm trying to think of stuff that I should probably talk about. Oh, you know what? I always mention this in all of my videos, or in most of my videos, but you guys, if you want to learn more about the series, you can find it using the hashtag SimJValleyLegacy. On Twitter, I always use that hashtag every time I post something about the series. And yep. As of now, I still haven't made up my mind on whether I want to upload the Sims or the builds, but I think I'm leaning towards actually uploading them, because so many people have actually come up to me requesting that I upload all of the builds. So I think I might actually do that. I feel like, you know what, I think I might. I think I will. But I think I might actually have to finish everything first, because I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but I always go back, even if I already like published the videos. I always go back into the builds and I change stuff, and I'm sure that, you know, I will be changing stuff for Joja Mart in the future. So I don't want to upload the builds just yet, because I don't think they have been finalized. So I think before we start the Let's Play, I think at that point most of the builds will probably be uploaded, if not all. So yep. And basically, just to decorate the outside, on this side there is this delivery truck, which I'm a little bit concerned that I made into a giant delivery truck. I think that might be a little bit too big in proportion to the Sims, so I might have to look at that. I might have to go to this lot and see how the Sims look next to that truck, because I feel like it might be a little bit big. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, there's this like outside area where they have all of these boxes stored, and you know, I guess it's kind of like this dumping ground for like delivery or whatever. So it's that, nothing too crazy. And then on the other side, there is actually a billboard. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we work on the billboard, we work on this little sign thing. I noticed that I actually used so many different signs in this build, like so many like different signs on the front, and I think that it's part of Joja art advertising to, like, you know, entice as many people to support their business, I guess. But yeah, this is the part where I actually make the little billboard area, and I gotta say I was actually really happy with how it all came together, because I've never imagined making a billboard in The Sims 4. I don't think I've ever done that before, so I was able to do that here using a billboard thing. Actually, it came with City Living. I hope that these things change. If not, I don't really care, to be honest, but it'd be good if they changed. But pretty much to kind of like wrap things up, we're gonna be doing some landscaping, and landscaping wise, I kind of just kept it really simple and really minimal. I kind of just threw in some random weeds and grass all over the place, and some random like bushes and rocks and stuff. Also, I put like a little area behind where there is this yellow earth, and you guys are probably gonna see that in the screenshots, because I feel like I should probably end this video right now because there's really nothing more to show you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here. You guys, thank you so much for all of the comments and for all of the support. I have been reading all of your comments, and I'm just really happy to hear from you guys, so keep them coming, especially over the weekend. Okay, so yep, you all have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.